Let's spin that dial. Ah, good. This gets us up north. It falls, Simon, on Celtic. Now, what about that? I know what this means. This relates to a tweet yesterday with Celtic telling their supporters, "We had hoped to have announced the manager before providing this update. However, we must now begin the renewal process." The renewal of season tickets, Simon.
Okie dokie.
"To allow us to prepare for a phased and safe return to Celtic Park for our supporters. And thank you for our support." So basically what they're saying there is the season tickets are now on sale, but we haven't got a new manager in yet. Now, sorry about that.
We don't know where we're going and why we're going there.
We don't know where we're going and why we're going there. This is taking us
come with us anyway.
We're trying to get Eddie Howe, but for whatever reason, we haven't got Eddie's signature yet. That's the perception of that.
Yeah.
So what do? They say, so thank you anyway to all the fans. And Celtic will deliver a £50 gift voucher to each and every season ticket holder who renews. The gift voucher can be used online or in store to purchase any items, including Adidas products, kit and official signed memorabilia.
So it's a voucher for you to spend it in their environment.
Pretty much so.
Yeah.
That's my
So
understanding.
that voucher
of it.
costs them about 10 quid then.
So sorry, we haven't got the manager in yet. We haven't made an announcement on that. But please feel free to renew your season ticket. And incidentally, there is a 50 quid gift voucher for you doing that. Now, we took a kind of random poll of the Celtic fans' reaction.
Is Rod Stewart involved?
Rod is not, but Rod is listening. So Rod, good morning. Kate Dunbar: "When we have a manager in place, come back with your renewals. It is unbelievable to think that anyone will renew without one." There is Poccadolli Gabriella. "It's an absolute disgrace. I hope other Celtic fans intend to make a statement that we don't take this from the board anymore. You'll get none of my money." John Traynor: "Serious question. Is this the last act of the outgoing chief executive, Peter Lowell, of course, who was in the news for unfortunate circumstances, or the first act of the incoming chief executive? Either way, it looks to me like the board and senior officials at Celtic are still not reading the room." In other words, do you know where you can put your 50 quid voucher?
Yes, I imagine I can work that one out. Look, I mean, in defence of Celtic, they do have to get their logistics in terms of season tickets out. And obviously, they'll probably have to have a load of protocols in place to be able to meet certain obligations that may be upon them by Nicola Sturgeon, who loathes everything football. So it might simply be a logistical exercise. The timing is ugly, isn't it? Because they're going to open themselves up for ridicule. We mustn't forget also that people like Peter Lowell have just had their houses firebombed. So there is a background of people perhaps not thinking the right way. But look, the bottom line is I still can't work out what the issue is with Eddie Howe. I mean, it's been taking a long time, and we're not getting somebody of the highest calibre, are we? We're not trying to get Zidane to come and join Celtic with the greatest respect in the world. We're trying to get Eddie Howe, and we're hearing all kinds of manner of things. But look, the Celtic fans will have a view, because ultimately, if they'd have won the league this year and fired Neil Lennon and still hadn't got a manager, they wouldn't be saying, "Oh, we're not going to renew our season tickets because we haven't got a manager." Would be saying, "Okay, we're excited to see what you're going to be doing." The £50 voucher, well, that's a sprat to catch a mackerel. That's going to get you to spend money in the shop, which costs them nothing. It costs them nothing. 50 quid voucher costs them nothing.
That's the kind of stunt you'd pull.
No, it's not a stunt. Right, marketing technique.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Right, 50 quid with a voucher to buy something from their shops for 50 quid. That 50 quid thing they buy will cost them about 10 quid. So it's it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what they've currently got is nothing in regarding a manager, and that's the bigger concern, isn't it?
It is the cart before the horse, though, isn't it? Because if you are going to entice fans to put down the hard-earned money...
You're forever telling me about the size of these clubs and how they have this huge support base.
Well, they do, Celtic.
Right.
Enormous.
So what do they need to be enticed to do? Support something that they're already there to support.
Yeah, but...
So if they got some dreadful manager and the fans didn't like...
No, hang on a second.
So they wouldn't support that then?
They're far from enamoured about the way the club has been run of late.
Granted.
Far from enamoured.
I understand that.
About the way that 10 in a row didn't come about and Rangers came in and
happens
stole
at times.
the thunder.
Nothing lasts forever, does it? And most football fans, irrespective of the most emotional ones, will take a step back and go, okay, what happens next?
Yeah, I know, but John Kennedy's been in interim charge forever and a day.
Yes,
so they're far from enamoured about the amount of time that has taken. If you're going to get Eddie Howe, get Eddie Howe.
Well,
announce it.
That's the bigger question: is why is it taking so long? Because Alex Crook was absolutely adamant there's nothing to do with contractual obligations to Bournemouth and so on and so forth. But I cannot see with the greatest respect in the world, we're not suggesting that Eddie Howe is the best thing since sliced bread and there's a queue of people trying to get him. Celtic want him. It's a big job. And this week we heard, it's because he wants to have more influence in the transfer situation.
Or maybe pinpointing some backroom staff.
Well,
that might be the reason, waiting for see if Bournemouth are going to get to the playoffs or not. Through the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's done now, isn't it? But I didn't think he wanted to go back to Bournemouth and take any of the staff from there. And I thought that was something that he'd already said he didn't want to do. And we know that he hasn't got a great relationship with Jason Tindo anymore, who obviously isn't that Bournemouth anymore.
For whatever reason, it's not done, but it should be done. It should be done.
Well, I mean, is it because the lure of Celtic isn't quite what you think it is? Is it because you think that people should crawl across broken glass to go and manage a club like Celtic if they get the opportunity to do so?
It's a massive club. It's an enormous club. It's a club that any top manager would want to go to and should go to. But it happens at a time when Palace are looking for a manager. Your former club, Palace, are in the market for a manager. That Levy and Tottenham are in the market for a manager. There are others on the scene.
But Tottenham aren't fishing in the same pond as Celtic, are they? They're not. The economics of Celtic, whilst a brilliant football club, are not the same as Tottenham Hotspur. Celtic's turnover will be 70 million. Tottenham Hotspur's turnover will be 400 million. So there's a different dynamic, and the quality of player, with respect to Celtic, that they will have are different to the quality of player that Tottenham Hotspur.
Without buttering you up too much, if you were at the top of the house at Celtic, you would get the Howe done.
Well, I'll get it done. I wouldn't want the opportunity for people to be vitriolic. Get it done and then listen to their contempt about what I had done, because you'll not be able to win with some people.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is a season ticket offering without what appears to be a rudderless ship, a board, chief executive on the way out, a board in transients or in transit, and a manager not in situ, doesn't give you a feeling that the ship is sailing off in the right direction to stop Rangers picking up where they left off.
No, exactly, and that's why so many Celtic fans, and I'm looking at some of the other ones. I had hoped with the season ending we could begin to look forward and rebuild the relationship between the club and the fans. You've just asked me to get my money out again and get myself a season ticket. This is one of the fans. Well, I'm done with doing that, he says. Give my seat to some other mug.
Okay, and then if they're doing an early bird special, if they're doing a price point that has a price break on it because you buy it early, don't complain then when you get a manager in, because clearly Celtic aren't going to sit there and allow themselves not to have a manager, and clearly they're not going to want Rangers to disappear over the horizon. So I would assume that the guys that own Celtic are going to double down and trying to get Celtic back into play. So if the season ticket price goes up because the price break time has gone, don't complain then, will you? Have a bit of faith, perhaps.
Okay.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.